Welcome to Diaries of a Data Scientist, our podcast in which we share about what's important to break into data science, provide valuable insights also for senior data scientists, and invite interesting guests from different data science areas. We're Jasmin and Kate. We're both data scientists and mentors working in industry, and we are sharing here our thoughts and experiences. Let's go. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Diaries of a Data Scientist. This is episode 26 and the first one in 2025. I hope everyone started great into the new year, and very fitting, today's episode is about AI trends in 2025. And as a nice goodie, you'll also get an event calendar where you can already see what are like interesting conferences and events that you'd like to go to. So that is like gonna be available in addition to this episode.
Because I guess the last time we also created one of such calendars, which was definitely helpful for us in order to put in the schedule the different events and get interacted a little bit with the specialists and the leaders in the data science field. So for sure.
And maybe let's start with a fact for this year. So based on a very recent study with over 1,000 funders, small business owners, executives from the US, to be fair, right, and transparent, regarding the topic of AI adoption, basically that study and report highlighted that nearly 60% of business owners plan to increase AI investment in 2025. So a lot of further AI investments coming. We don't really see the momentum decreasing as of now regarding AI. Actually, it's the other way around. I feel it's even more enthusiasm around. And today's episode is all about like what are AI trends in general for 2025, but we'll also give an outlook what is specifically important for data scientists.
And also maybe to add a little bit in here, it is not going to be like really techie wise. We're not going to discuss like link chains or graph chains or anything like that connected to the actually AI infrastructures. It is really a bit more about soft part of the artificial intelligence field. And let's say we're going to be more concentrated on our business leaders, on the team leads, and as well as on the data scientists, and especially on our, I would say, beloved students that just got into this field, or your guys finishing with your masters and really eager to, let's say, occupy the market and see how it is going on in there. So it is going to be not that technical for today.
Amazing. So let's get started slowly into this year. We promise there are gonna be more episodes very heavy on technology coming, but let's start slowly and not deter any people who might be newly joining Diaries of a Data Scientist.
Yeah.
So, Kate, what would you say is like one of the first AI trends in general for this year that you see on the horizon?
Definitely. So if I would look back at the history for, let's say, maybe a couple of years ago, not like -2 years ago, but throughout this, like, during this period, we can already see that a lot of companies, let's say, started implementing AI technologies, or like, let's say, Gen AI technologies in their daily life. And what I can see right now with the AI democratization right now, as we already said many times in the previous episodes, it becomes like more inclusive field, including pretty much every single part of our amazing society. And it is going to be definitely more even brought up to the businesses in order to implement more of these technologies. For example, with Microsoft Copilot right now, right, that can translate the messages for you, that can do the calendar events, that can schedule the meetings, and etc. And definitely it is going to be the second part, which is more personalized for you as an individual specifically. So this is one of the trends that I can definitely foresee for 2025, that people that are outside of the tech, or let's say outside of the Gen Z or like millennials, are getting heavily like involved into this field. So I'm all over the goosebumps, like my entire body again. So I guess it is going to be the fantastic year when my parents, they will be like, Kate, have you seen that? This is something what I will be really looking into forward.
Amazing. Yeah, and I think one contributing factor definitely is that the models get more and more multi-channel or multimodal, right? Meaning like, I don't know if you've seen that, but there's like this new feature also with the OpenAI app. So you can use it right on your mobile, right? And they now can get access to your camera. So obviously you have to let them. But you can then basically not only speak to the models behind the OpenAI APIs, but they can also basically see what's going on when you film your room. You can film yourself. You can ask. I've seen a person on the internet asking for like hairstyle advice. Some other people use it for interior advice. Again, there's room to argue how much more benefit that will add, maybe to a business, but there's different kind of use cases that are now basically possible with that, right? And this combination of, yes, you can not only write, you can speak, it will speak back to you, you can use your camera, you can film. I think that is more and more leading people to really embed and integrate that into their life.
For sure. And also, speaking about the business, I can definitely see that more parts which are not connected to the tech are going to be including this kind of technology for better customer experience. For example, so recently I was looking for a lipstick and I was going through different websites like Dior, Chanel, and in there you would click on the, okay, I want to like have right lipstick, and it will ask you, would you like to see how it fitting you through the camera right away? So I don't know, Yasmin, have you seen that or not? But this is something I was really surprised to see. It's not really working the way that you expect it to work, of course. It is like the first stages, but this is something really cool. Or especially, for example, with the eyeshadows, you can pretty much do the same. Or the second example that I had as a customer, I was about to schedule my appointment with the dentist, and on the like dentist, right, is like pharma field, medicine field, and on her website, I would see that, we have the AI chatbot right now that can help you to answer your questions when I'm on vacation, to help you to book an appointment and etc., or help you to understand which specific I don't know how to say this better, like needs you need to have before going to the dentist room. So that was pretty interesting for me, and I'm very much happy.
Amazing. And I think this is actually leading to the second concrete trend, right? Which is that AI is getting more and more industry tailored. I mean, there are these kind of general use cases, like, as you said, I mean, having a chatbot for customer service on different, like on your business website, right? But definitely also getting way more specialized AI solutions for marketing, I don't know, for content creation, for like video creation in the learning and educational sector, right? Even our podcast platform, which we use here, Riverside, right, is adding more and more AI features with like automated editing processes and stuff like that. So it's really hitting in all different kinds of industries and fields. And I think this is something, so this kind of specialization or also like allowing businesses to have a more personalized experience for their customers. So this hyper-personalization is the keyword here, is coming more and more.
For sure. But I guess here, and this is something that I'm about to ask you, Jasmin, because I know that you spent like hours and hours getting deeper into the details in this part. But I guess also with that, the third trend that we can definitely foresee is the ethical considerations in the AI, right? In the field of how we're going to use it, what are the regulations, what are the companies must to be aware of or provide if they are into like different categories. This is definitely going to be one of the trends, I think, for 2025. What do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, being located here in the European Union and having the EU AI Act come into effect, and I mean, for my field of work, mostly also the Article 4 is very, very important here, which is basically saying that you also have to train all of the, say, people who are along the value chain of AI, meaning also the developers, but also, of course, the users of AI tools in your company. Like, this is a really, really important thing for this year, right? We also have dedicated episodes on that, and you'll find a lot of information on this topic. But overall, AI ethics and dysregulation, I would say it's a trend mostly because, regulation coming more and more into effect, and getting to work, right? And this creates the necessity really to think about risk regulations and training all of the colleagues who are working on these tools, right? And but also from a technology side to again increase the efforts around explainable AI and finding systems, algorithms that create more transparency around how they work and allow for better, like maybe control, because in many cases we're still really talking about black box systems, which is creating a lot of issues if you need to track and if you need to be able to justify certain decisions depending on what's the use case, what's the purpose of the system.
Yeah, and I believe it's also very much applied for the business field, as people that are working in there are not very much attached and they don't have the same knowledge to really understand what is happening, why we need to even consider ethical considerations, why we need to put the regulations in there. Because as one of the examples, for example, to provide in here is that I heard of the situations where data scientists have been asked to, let's say, predict how many hours it will take a certain employee in the company in order to do the task. This is, I did like a small post quite recently on LinkedIn as well about that. This is definitely not ethical, or that it is not okay to put identifiable information into any kind of AI-based chatbots and etc. So I guess we will have also this kind of heavily, it will be heavily brought up to the map, to the audience, in order to make sure that everything is aligned with the regulations. And I guess with this one, we will go to the next trend, which will be about, since we got into the 2025 with the Gen AI and everything around this that we have already discussed, it is going to be also that we will have more AI-related job positions in the market. And honestly, in one of the reports, what I have seen, it is forecasted that AI will create up to 133 million different jobs in the market by 2030. I am not sure how trustworthy that is, because it is just a forecast based on the couple of years data that we have in the market, but probably it is also something to keep in mind. So yeah, I will be like really interested to look into details how it is honestly going to come.
Yeah, but no, I think, I mean, depending on that number, it's like, again, debatable if it's the exact number, if it's a good estimation or not.
Yeah, of course.
But what we can definitely see happening, right, is a shift in positions going on. And one very, very recent study from the World Economic Forum, they just released their 2025 future jobs report, right? And there you can clearly see, so they usually give you like the 15 top fastest growing jobs and the 15 top fastest declining jobs. And what you basically see among these 15 top fastest growing, like I think around 10 or 11 are really like related around big data analysis, data science, machine learning, AI, autonomous vehicles, everything like loosely connected to the topic of AI. Whereas in the top fastest declining jobs, we'll find jobs like postal service clerks, graphic designers, transportation attendants, legal officials, telemarketers, right? Which are jobs that are heavily influenced by now AI, and especially generative AI being available in that area.
Yeah, definitely. And probably with this, we're smoothly closing this circle of, let's say, mid AI trends with the final, but not the last important fact, is that it is going to be definitely the AI talent demand for 2025, because take it into the consideration that AI is part of our personal life, AI is part of the business, and as Jasmin, you said that about 60% of the asked founders and companies are about to invest money in the AI for 2025. It is definitely will not be possible without new specialists, without people working in this field. And I also believe that we will see more and more bachelors and different, perhaps even online courses, different support in order to train and educate people that will be able to take up on that job later.
Absolutely. Yeah. So let's maybe talk a little bit more concretely what this means for our beloved data science area, right? So one thing which was already mentioned, definitely, I mean, data science is still among the top fastest growing jobs. If you look more detailed in this future jobs report, it's not on the first place. The first place is around big data specialists, which is maybe more than in the area of data engineering, right? Again, highlighting like no AI without having a proper data organization, which is very, very important. But still, data scientist is among these like 15 fastest growing jobs, right? And also the others like AI and machine learning engineers, which are related fields. And many data scientists also currently making this shift with their skill set, like, and their specialism into more like the AI field, right? Otherwise, as you said, right, and we see more study programs popping up, which is on one hand really good. On the other hand, it's just increasing this challenge of finding the right program for you, and also, you know, comparing what actually is a good quality and what is maybe an offer that is just, you know, releasing very fast in order to maybe leverage and take advantage of this hype without really having a lot of substance behind it.
And the second, I guess, it is going to be also the competition, and the third part is going to be like also challenging for the business, for the companies, for the hiring like managers to create those programs. But on that a bit later, what I wanted to add is just how it is interesting to go through the history of the data science field and look back a little bit and see how it has been emerging. Because Jasmin, we have discussed that with you a couple of years ago, perhaps, that in the past, like maybe 10 or 15 years ago, it was first not a data scientist, it was a statistician or a mathematician, or like maybe like data specialist. Back in the days, you needed to have a PhD in order to get accepted to work in the companies, because data science part, this is still as research and development. This is something that needs financial support from the business in order to create these positions, right? You will not get money instantly out of these investments. Then a couple of years, maybe not a couple, 5 years ago, we started having just master's degrees. And like the market has been already opening up to the people that don't want to perhaps go to the PhD and just have the master's. And right now, and we already see the programs in Germany that we already have bachelors called like data scientists, and you perhaps will have more possibilities to have the working positions as the internship or a working student, because for like from my perspective, from my experience back in the days, it was not even possible to have even a working student position having just a bachelor. So you needed to be on your master's, which is, I guess, definitely going to be the opening up for the job market. But as I said, about the business companies, so what I can definitely see is that when you do have that amount of specialists outside on the market, probably the people that will not have the university's degrees, probably they will be like from the online studies, from the boot camps. You also, as a company, you need to make sure that, for example, if you are looking for a data scientist in the, again, research and development, you will need to have this and this and these criteria. Or if you are a startup and you're mostly working with the data analytics, like doing the ETLs pipelines, you will be a little bit different requirements. So I would say that the job market is going to be broader, but also with the fact that AI can generate code for you right now. So you don't really much need to, do pandas.read CSV. So it can be written by the AI assistant in there. Probably the technical interviews also might be a little bit more challenging in this kind of sense.
Yeah, I mean, challenging in this, they will change. They have to change. We have to change the way that we check for skills. We have to change the way we do run interviews and assessments. And again, what I can see happening is maybe also putting a bigger focus on soft skills for data scientists.
Yes.
Because, yeah, as you said, like basic skill, the basic foundations of data exploration can be automated, which is a trend or something that we've seen with AutoML, not just starting in the last year, right, but has been around for a couple of years, and not just getting way more accessible to people, I feel, so that even like someone who's a data analyst can do now way more outside of the usual job description. So we basically see, like, I would say, inflation of the tasks, which are now maybe like getting into, for example, data analysis. So we basically see, I think, a shift of the skills up the ladder, because the basic things can be done by GitHub Copilot, for example, is getting stronger and stronger. And honestly, we would be dumb as a developer, as a data scientist, if we wouldn't make use of that. So I think it's not the key to have some false pride and say, like, no, I'm just making the calls here on my own, even though I know there's some tools which could do it faster for me, right? I think that is not the way to go. We have to accept that this is the new ways of working that area, and make use of it as good as we can, right? And focus on other things where our creativity and knowledge is better put into skills. And I would hope that we don't forget to really also apply these benefits again to improve data quality, because this is still one of the say bottlenecks for quality in that area, right? And I feel there's sometimes too much focus on, maybe now we don't have to basically fill some of the software developer positions because AI is there, right? But it doesn't change that in many organizations, data quality is still the bottleneck.
For sure. I'm absolutely totally agree. This is something that I'm trying to spread the word in the world to really make sure that everyone understands this really simple math, that this is something that I recently also said to the other people, that a lot of companies really want to include machine learning and artificial intelligence, because it is right now, it is not really about a techno. It is more about a people, in the sense that it is more profitable from the marketing perspective to say on the advertisement that we're using ML and AI in order to create your most pleasant customer experience. But if you look like a little bit deeper in the foundation, you still do have Excels, you still do have a lot of problems with the data quality, with the foundations. And this is also something that we already brought up for a couple of seconds in the very beginning, but this is also one of the trends that I can foresee, that data engineers will be much more into the demand, because those are the people that are actually doing these foundations, that are doing the pipelines, that are doing the data warehouses. And this is important. Yes, this is not a job description of a data scientist to create this stuff, because we're just have not been trained to do that. But it's for data engineers. And also, again, I guess that I can recall from the last year that at least in the West, in the United States, the data engineers have more demand and also more salary expectations than the data scientists, because the data scientists takes foundations that data engineers have been developed and implemented. And this is important, and I very much hope so that the companies will understand this and start focusing on the foundations instead of the marketing hyped buzzwords.
Yep, 100%. And this is exactly what is reflected in this future jobs report, right? That the data, basically the big data engineer, big data specialist role is basically the top fastest growing one. And we've seen this happening for a couple of years, because I feel, as you said, like it's still somewhat neglected, building the foundry, the fundament for all of the downstream tasks that we want to achieve with data. And this is also what you can see with like a similar challenge been there regarding AI agents, which might be a topic where we do a separate episode on if there's like interest. So also please comment, let us know if you would be interested in topic of AI agents. And also there, right? If you have like an AI agent trying to automate or improve like a business process, but the business process is not actually working well, right? I mean, you're just trying to put a patch on something that's actually not really working well. So there's no way around having a proper data organization and really think new around your business processes. And that's like gonna be challenges and creating positions and like demand in that area for the next couple of years. I don't have any concern. And this is also related to what we see, right? There's going to be more positions in the field of AI management, or like, let's say, the surrounding activities of that AI value chain. For example, product managers who are like managing AI-based software products, which is usually a combination of technical skills, business acumen, and product development, and being able to lead product teams as well. What could be maybe like other AI management positions? Kate, what do you think?
Honestly, I think that right now with the AI positions at a management level is going to be outside of the technical field. So we definitely do have this, not a hierarchy, but a career path when you are in technical departments, like data analyst, perhaps then technical manager, and etc. But this is something that I've started seeing recently occurring and emerging in the business side of a company, that since again, one of the trends is going to be personalized AI for 2025, and business will adopt it more and more. We will need to have more of those positions that are people that have been trained in the technical degrees, and the previous experience will be able to take this managing and leadership role outside of the tech in business in order to create, roadmaps, paths, education, trainings, also be able to manage the technical projects for the business departments as well. So I guess we will see definitely a lot more focus, I would say, on the business side implementing AI outside of the technical departments.
Absolutely.
That'll be interesting.
And maybe on a side note, making a little bit of advertisement here. I'm so happy to see that BASF decided, and I supported that decision and pushed for it also from my side. There's going to be 4 study positions, so dual study positions for the autumn semester in 2025. And basically 2 of the positions focusing on computer science with, say, track artificial intelligence. Yeah, so that's going to be like already specialized on the AI field, but then also 2 positions with business information technology with the track or the focus also artificial intelligence and data science. And this is exactly what you mentioned, right? So also not just having like colleagues and experts who are super, super deep into the technology stack, but also building talent and developing talent in that intersection of business and AI, which is exactly what business information technology with that special focus is ought for. So I can imagine, right, that young talents who would go that route could be in the end AI product managers, or they could be AI ethics specialists, or like, also leading at some point like research centers, which also needs a lot of, say, also people skills, for example, right? And I'm very happy that we will offer this for positions. So
amazing.
If you personally are interested, or you have like any relatives, people that are
Friends
just coming out of their school, right? Done the A-levels maybe this year or last year, right? This might be a great position to look into.
Oh, I'm looking very much forward to this. And I guess this is an amazing right now time to talk a little bit how the technical interviews will be changed for this kind of positions. Because from my perspective, what I can see, and we have touched that a little bit in the beginning again, that I honestly think that we will be having two camps sort of right now. The first one is going to be more knowledge, more soft people skills, less like specifically programming and working with different languages. Why is that? Again, because we already have with Visual Studio Code or PyCharm, GitHub Copilot. If you're working with Databricks, you already have Databricks AI assistant in there. Like working on the right side for you, you just write on your natural language what you want to have. It will be outputted like in a couple of seconds. Amazing, right? You don't need to do this anymore. And the second part, the second camp, it is going to be more about code, because the thing is, the ability of the AI assistants to provide a code for you, it is not because they're so smart. It is because the code actually is the text, and it is out there on the GitHub profiles, on the it's all over the Stack Overflow and etc. And that is why it is so easy. But the problem is emerging in here. What if you need to do something which is not captured, or it's like an outlier in the entire data set of the people asking questions how to code and how to do? And I feel this goes like beyond the system. You need to go under the system in order to do something and implement it in there. And this is definitely can be a different part of any data related jobs. And I feel that is going to be the second camp for our new fresh people in data science field. So
yeah, I'm
what are your
very like
thoughts?
also it's very hard to decide on the spot, like to either be in camp 1 or camp 2, because like I personally also think there's still a lot of benefit in like testing and being able to understand the underlying concepts behind algorithms, right? And knowing how to improve them, knowing what to watch out for, having like high skill set, basically taking logical decisions, and being able also to troubleshoot in that sense, right? So I'm still seeing a lot of benefit in that area. So I think like maybe maybe it's not a fair answer here, but if I were to do that, I would actually try to combine both, right? I would still try to find some tasks which are actually testing the second part, but at the same time, like maybe like in the next stage, yeah, usually you have this multi-stage, right? I would definitely test for like also more skills and soft skills driven areas.
So just as a clarification, in here I am not talking about how, definitely, firstly, if you want to go to the data science, you must understand what is happening behind the algorithms. That's one question on the interview you would not answer, you will fail. So that's important to understand what is happening. Otherwise, you will screw up the entire process pretty much. But I'm more talking about in here, how should I better put that? I don't know, maybe somebody will ask you to write the random forest on something which is not the high level programming languages as Python, but more like low level, where you have to actually create the entire logic by yourself. And probably specifically if you're going to ask with either like OpenAI APIs or creating by yourself LLMs and transformers or something like that, which also may be possible, I'm more into, like this direction. So it's not like straightforward that you will just say, okay, import from scikit-learn, I don't know, random forest classifier and just get it done with this.
I guess there are job roles and positions where like based on what is the like based on the area of that role and the tasks and the data situations, that probably that person wouldn't face that super highly complex algorithms and also that level of, say, maybe optimization, runtime optimization, and so on is not gonna be likely happening. And then maybe like interviews, which are exactly like you said, more focusing on more the knowledge part and less the code, might be more the way to go in that area. Yeah, and I think in the end it's really basing on the position, and even be within one company there might be areas where you maybe should value one over the other, or like basically where different interview processes are applicable.
Yeah, definitely. And perhaps the final part, but we have already touched on that, right, multiple times in this talk, is that soft skills are going to be really important, even though that we have been already emphasizing the having soft skills in the talk for the past year as well. right now, I guess, with the all AI ethics, when the new positions emerging as technical person embedded in the business, it is going to be much more valuable. So I guess that is all for today from us, from Diaries of a Data Scientist. And definitely thank you very much for listening and for watching to us. Please go ahead and write the comments whether it was useful and helpful for you. And again, we have covered today the 2025 AI trends for the business part, and as well as for our beloved fresh year data scientists, whether you have just started with your journey or about to start looking for a job position. So see you later, and until the next time.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. This was Diaries of a Data Scientist by Jasmin and Kate. And if you enjoyed the episode, remember to check out our YouTube channel and our LinkedIn pages for more engaging content from the data science world. Thank you for today, and seeing you in the comments.